Tottenham Hotspur defender Eric Dier has been talking about Heung-min Son and said his work rate is so good. Willian on nearly joining Spurs, and reports in Italy are stating that Antonio Conte has postponed meetings with Tottenham Hotspur about extending his contract at Spurs. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like and share. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. And I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled to announce that we have just been informed that we have been nominated as a finalist for Best Podcast, the Spurs Chat podcast, for this year's Football Content Awards. The final will take place in Manchester in November 2022. You can now vote for us to win this trophy, the best podcast. Wouldn't that be nice as a Spurs channel to finally lift a trophy? You can vote, and the closing date for voting is the 9th of October. All of the details are below, and I cannot thank all of you enough for all of your tremendous support that you have shown me and this channel throughout the last few years. Let's start with a report from the Daily Express today, and they are stating that Spurs aren't prepared to wait forever to tie Antonio Conte down to a new contract if he continues to delay discussions. Antonio Conte has overseen a drastic improvement at the Premier League club. He is understood to have postponed meetings about his future. The Italian head coach has a contract that expires next summer, which will worry club chiefs. Spurs have emerged back into the top four under Antonio Conte and are one of few clubs who look capable of threatening Manchester City at the top of the table. The report then states that Spurs have apparently tried to hold meetings with the 53-year-old to discuss extending his spell in North London. However, Antonio Conte has postponed those talks, with reports from earlier in the summer suggesting that he wanted to concentrate on the club's business. But the transfer window having now been closed for 2 weeks, Antonio Conte is yet to decide his future. He has been linked with a return to Juventus, where boss Allegri is under pressure following a poor start to the Serie A campaign. According to Italian publication Tutto Sport, Spurs will not wait forever as Antonio Conte stalls on a new contract. The former Chelsea head coach is in no rush to extend the year-and-a-half deal he signed when he replaced Nuno Espirito Santo back in November 2021. Also in this report, it says that various reports in the Italian media suggest that Antonio Conte would be open to moving to Juventus, for whom he has played and coached. Antonio Conte was spotted in Turin this week, but it is not believed that his presence had anything to do with a return to the Serie A club. On Wednesday afternoon, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club confirmed that there has been some academy fixture updates. Our under-21s Premier League 2 trip to West Ham United, postponed earlier this month, has now been rescheduled to take place on Friday, the 11th of November. Kickoff will be 7 p.m. at the Hammers Rush Green Stadium. In addition, our under-19s UEFA Youth League Matchday 4 home fixture against Frankfurt on Wednesday, the 12th of October, will now kick off at the earlier time of 1 p.m. UK. Tottenham Hotspur defender Eric Dier has been talking about Heung-min Son and said, "I don't like someone's form to affect who they are as a person. They are two very different things. If things aren't going well in your profession, something you love, it's normal that you get down about it. But if you are a good person like Sonny is, that doesn't change because he's having a difficult time. We've all been supporting him. We all want the best for him. And it's not just him, it's for everyone. We want the best for all of our teammates, and people have been talking about him a lot recently. So we're all pleased he's come back with a hat-trick." Eric Dier then went on to say, "We're also happy for Sonny. It's been a difficult start to the season for him. He lives for scoring goals, and it's no secret that it is tough when he doesn't score goals. That is normal. His work rate is consistently so good. It just hasn't fallen for him, but he has come back in a fantastic way. That is what we need from the whole squad. Players to come in and help us, whoever it is, to come in and impact the team in a positive way. We need everyone with the schedule that we have to come in with that mindset, and Sonny was a great example of that." On Wednesday afternoon, the Tottenham Hotspur Women put out the following statement. We are delighted to announce that the Tottenham Hotspur Women's season tickets for the 2022-2023 season have now sold out. Thank you for your incredible support of the team for the new Barclays Women's Super League season. The show of support for Rhian Skinner's side is made even more notable in the context of us doubling the amount of season tickets available from last season following a move to a new venue of Leyton Orient Stadium. The team are now looking to improve on our 5th place and best ever finish in the WSL following a memorable summer for women's football in which England were crowned European champions. We got off to a good start with a 2-1 win against Leicester City Women at the King Power Stadium on Sunday. Former Chelsea star, now Fulham player, Willian has spoken out to The Athletic about how he nearly joined Spurs some years ago. He said, Chelsea came in on the day that I was going to sign the contract at Tottenham. I was at Tottenham's training ground to finalise the deal when the call came in. My agent said to me, Chelsea just called me and they want you. I said, okay, I want to go there. Then I left the training ground and I went back to the hotel. It was a difficult decision because I'd agreed more or less to join Spurs, but my mind was only Chelsea. Once the deal was agreed, I only wanted to go there. It was the best decision of my career. Now, just before I get into my thoughts on these stories in this episode, a big apology for not producing a number of the Tottenham news videos, the longer editions. I know I've been putting out a lot of the shorter 60-second Spurs news updates. It is just time. When I get time to do them, they will be published. And hopefully I will get time in the next couple of weeks to be putting them out daily as I used to. Let's talk about Heung-min Son. I tell you what, I was absolutely delighted on Saturday for him. I had a huge smile on my face. So pleased to see him get his first goal. And then, of course, the second goal and the third goal. And then he goes home with the match ball. I have said for the last couple of years that Heung-min Son is my favourite current Tottenham Hotspur player. Not anymore. He is my favourite all-time player. Jurgen Klinsmann has always been my favourite all-time player. Being brought up as a kid, watching Jurgen Klinsmann play, he was absolutely sensational for Spurs. But I tell you what, Heung-min Son is amazing. He's an amazing guy. He's an amazing player. He's an amazing footballer and an amazing human being. And, to see him score that hat-trick, be that real impact player from the bench. He wouldn't have been happy being named as a sub on Saturday against Leicester. Of course, he wants to start every single game alongside the likes of Harry Kane. The way he reacted to it, the way that he came on and scored the hat-trick, just so pleased, really am. And when he got that first goal, I jumped in the air, both feet in the air, so happy. As everyone was inside that stadium, we were all so happy for him because he is a fantastic player and a fantastic person. And, the way that Eric Dier and the way that every single one of Sonny's teammates talk about him, everybody is in love with the guy. And, so pleased to see him walk down that tunnel with the match ball. Now let's talk about Antonio Conte. So many reports are being published right now stating that Antonio Conte could be going back to Juventus for a dramatic return to Serie A. I've got to admit, as a Spurs fan, I want to see Antonio Conte sign a new contract with Spurs. And I say this in most of the Spurs Chat podcast episodes when I'm talking to 3 other special guests on the channel. I always want to hear that news. I want to see the news. I want to hear the news. I want Spurs to be putting it out that Antonio Conte has extended his contract at Spurs and he will be our manager beyond this season. Of course, since he came in, replacing Nuno Espirito Santo, he has transformed this club. He has been a magician. He has been a conductor. The fans absolutely love and adore this guy. The fans sing his name most games, numerous times, and rightly so. He has transformed this football club. He's got us Champions League football. He has done a brilliant job at our football club. He's a world-class manager, and I would love to see Antonio Conte manage us for many, many years because I believe he will lead us to glory. He will lead us to good days. He will lead us to trophies. And, I've said many, many times that I want him to be our manager in the future. And I'm just hoping and praying that sometime in the near future, we do get an announcement from him, the football club, that they come out and say that Antonio Conte has just signed an extension of his contract and he will be with us until 2024, 2025, 2026. I would love him to stay as long as possible. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like and share. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Please also remember to vote for us as Best Podcast in the Football Content Awards 2022 final. The deadline is the 9th of October. Thanks so much for all of your support, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.